Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and today we're going to get back to what we do best on this channel, and that is stock picks. Now, I realize that there are two crowds of people who are watching this channel right now. For some of you, you're part of that millennial Wall Street bets crowd, and you just want to take down Citadel. There's another segment of you guys who you support what they're doing, but really you just want to invest and take care of your family. The good news is I've got stock picks for both crowds today. But before we get into that, I want to talk about sort of the future of this channel. Now, last week I had asked you guys if you wanted me to provide more of my analysis and some of my own stock picks, and you guys said yes, let's do that. So in order to do that, we've got to cut down from 15 YouTubers to 10 YouTubers so that I have more time to provide more of my own analysis. And in doing so, I have put quite a few polls up on the community tab, and I'm asking you guys to kind of vote on who we should get rid of. So far, we've already gotten rid of 3. We just got rid of Mcash and Jack Spencer. We are now down to 12. So we've got to get rid of 2 more to get down to the top 10 so that I can provide more of my own analysis for you guys. So head over to the community tab and vote, because what I'm doing is the top 7 YouTubers, those 7 with over 100,000 subscribers, we're going to keep. Now we're down to the bottom 5. The 5 YouTubers with less than 100,000 subscribers. I want you guys to vote on who we should keep. So go over to the community tab after this video is over and vote for who you want to be included in the top 10 YouTubers. All right, let's get to today's stock picks. Now, let me start real fast. For those of you who are part of the Wall Street Bets crowd, you just want to take down Citadel, what stocks should you be buying Monday? And luckily, Robinhood just gave you Citadel's playbook. Imagine for a second if you were playing a game of American football and the day before the game, the other team handed you their playbook. I mean, that's literally what Robinhood just did. And I told you guys yesterday that Robinhood had restricted 30 securities. After I posted that video, they increased it to 50. Now they're back down to 9. But what I want to focus on is the 50 list, because you see this list here? This is the list that they've given out Saturday as far as the 50 stocks they were going to restrict trading on come Monday. What's interesting about this list is 5 of these are Chamath-backed stocks, okay? Ignore those because that's just a personal vendetta that Robinhood had against Chamath. But the other 45 that are in this list, most of these are high short interest stocks. And it seems like Robinhood wants to stop another short squeeze, given the fact that Citadel has so many hedge funds that are shorting stocks. But here's the kicker. If you go through this list, there are some notable stocks that have very high short interest that are not on the list, like BNGO, for example. So what that tells me is this list is not just a bunch of high short interest stocks. This list is the stocks that Citadel's hedge funds are shorting. I think it's a hand-picked list of the stocks that Citadel's hedge funds are shorting. So if you are part of the Wall Street Bets crowd and your biggest interest is taking down Citadel, taking down the hedge funds, I encourage you to go through this list. I've got a link with all 50 of these in the description below. You can go down to the description and you can check out all 50 of these stocks. Like I said, exclude the 5 that were Chamath securities. Look at the other 45. And that will give you an idea of what you might want to buy Monday to help take down Citadel. Now, for the rest of the crowd, the ones that we're just interested in making money and investing in stocks that are kind of in a dip right now or beat down, and we want to make money and see those stocks rise up, let's get into those stock picks for you guys. But before we do, I just want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, I want to give you a little update of what we do here. So first of all, I'm Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for large investment banks, and now I'm analyzing stock picks from, well, today the top 12 YouTubers. Tomorrow it'll be the top 10. What I then do is I compile all of my analysis into a single video that I post right here on this channel every day. I spend hours every day watching YouTube videos so that you don't have to. All you have to do is watch one video each day and you will get every single stock pick from the top 10 YouTubers. And all I ask in return is that you hit that like button and subscribe so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. All right, before we get to today's stock picks, I just want to remind everyone that I am not a financial advisor and none of the YouTubers I follow are financial advisors either. Today's video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. If you're wondering which app we are currently using, we're currently on the Webull app. Webull is the app that I use for all of my trading, and it's also the app that I use in all of my videos. All right, let's get started. First up is ABBV. This is ABBV. StockMo likes this as a long-term growth stock because it has a 2022 forward PE of only 8.44. To get to a fair value of a PE of 15, this stock has about a 70 to 80% upside potential. Next up is ACTC. This is an EV SPAC that is merging with Proterra. Proterra is an EV company that makes power drive chains for EVs, buses, and also full buses. Their technology is already used in over 1,000 buses. Now, after Biden announced that he wanted to replace the entire federal fleet with EVs, stocks such as WKHS and RIDE went up. But as ZipTrader pointed out, their production capacity is only a small fraction of what will be needed to meet the federal demand. So that brings us to ACTC. Not only does Proterra already produce commercial EVs, but one of their board members is Jennifer Granholm. Guess what else Jennifer Granholm does? She's Biden's Secretary of Energy. So of course she's going to recommend ACTC to help Biden fulfill his desire to convert the federal fleet to EVs. Now just keep in mind that this is a SPAC, so the price is mostly focused on the merger right now and less on the company. Technically, if you look at the 1-hour chart, this has bottomed out and has started to go back up. Next up is BLRX. This is BioLineRx, their pharmaceutical company. Tech Conversations let us know about this company today. They have 2 drugs in their pipeline. One is in phase 1, but the other one is in phase 2/3. Analysts have an average $12.67 price target, which would represent a 354% upside potential from Friday's closing price. As with any pharmaceutical company, these are very high-risk plays, and they will move massively on news. This stock was pushed down by a recent stock offering that just closed. I'll put a buy-enter price of $2.70 and an ideal buy-in price of $2.40. Next up is BNGO. This is Bionanogenomics. Ken and Grace mentioned BNGO again today. He thinks you should own as much BNGO as possible right now because everybody is pulling money out of BNGO to put it into GME and other stocks, making BNGO cheap. Next up is Citigroup. StockMo likes Citigroup because it has a 2022 forward PE of only 7.19. Fair value is 15, so this stock could double over the next year or two. Taking a look at the chart though, you can see how C is in a downward trend right now. So wait for C to bottom out before buying. Next up is CCIV. This is a SPAC rumored to be merging with Lucid Motors. Lucid Motors is an American EV company and a competitor to Tesla. Ken and Grace reminded us about CCIV. Remember that mergers are often announced on Mondays, so this merger could be announced this Monday or next Monday, although StockMo said due to all of the factory negotiation delays, we might not get an announcement until the end of February. Ken and Grace recommends putting a stop loss at $18 in case the merger does not go through. Next up is EVGN. This is EVGN. This is a computational biology company. Basically, that means that they use data analytics to help pharmaceutical and agricultural companies reduce the time it takes to research and develop new medicines and agricultural products. Some of their customers include BASF, Bayer, and Corteva. Tech Conversations let us know about EVGN today. ARK Invest has been buying this in their IZRL fund. Their financials look great with revenues increasing, cash increasing, and minimal liabilities. There is also a strong momentum on the chart. There is only one analyst covering it, but he rates it a buy with a $9 price target, which would represent a 47% upside from Friday's closing price. I'm going to put the buy-under and ideal buy-in prices at the same price of $6. Next up is GBT. This is Global Blood Therapeutics, their pharmaceutical company. Ken and Grace let us know that analysts have recent price targets of $92 and $138, which means this stock could double or more by the end of this year. Keep in mind that this is a clinical stage pharmaceutical company, which means they already have FDA approval, and their drugs are already being used. GBT is getting close to being able to sell in Europe, which is going to greatly expand their revenue potential. GBT was beat down last year, but most large institutions just held. In January of this year, we finally saw our first large institution since February of 2020 by GBT. So it looks like large institutions have figured out that GBT has bottomed out and is starting to go back up. You can see how the bottom occurred in November of last year, and we've had good momentum since then. Next up is GNUS. This is Genius Brands International. Chris Haynes spoke about GNUS. He understands that a lot of people got burned by this stock, but he thinks it will go up 20 to 50% over the next 1 to 2 weeks. I will tell you that I bought this early in January and sold it last week after doubling my money. Next up is GS. This is Goldman Sachs. StockMo thinks GS will double within the next 2 years. He's basing this upon the forward PE ratio. Assuming GS gets to fair value of 15, its current forward PE is only 8.37. Next up is IDEX. This is Ideanomics. Chris Haynes said you should buy this if it dips. It has been running up like crazy lately, and this is a good momentum play. Next up is IPOE. This is a SPAC, and they're merging with SoFi, which is an online lending startup. SoFi is a competitor to Robinhood. Everybody's been talking about SoFi, so I did open an account and deposit a little money so that I could check it out. I have a sign up link in the description for SoFi, so if you want to get an extra $50 when you sign up, make sure to sign up using my link in the description. They also reimburse you for the $75 transfer fee that Robinhood charges. Webull is the other company I recommend because their app is easier to use and they have better research tools. Both clear through Apex, and if you're not sure which one to sign up with, why not sign up with both? That's what I did, and it's always good to have multiple brokers that you can trade with in case one goes down or restricts trading for some reason. Now, specifically looking at the IPOE SPAC, I want to remind everyone that pre-merger, these SPACs tend to be based upon the value of their merger, and then they tend to trade based upon the value of the company post-merger. However, in this case, IPOE is also going to be propped up by the fact that Robinhood has basically declared war against Chamath and limited buying of all Chamath-backed stocks. So I do think people might be buying IPOE both because SoFi is expected to gain millions of new customers due to the Robinhood fallout, and also because Chamath has been so outspoken against Robinhood in favor of retail investors. Next up is KIN. This is Kindred Bio. They're a veterinarian pharmaceutical company. Tech Conversations let us know about this company today. They have 4 drugs in the pipeline. 1 is in the equivalent of phase 3, 2 are in the equivalent of phase 2, and 1 is in the equivalent of phase 1. Keep in mind that pharmaceutical stocks will move on news, so if there's good news from a study and a drug moves to the next phase, the stock will go up. If a drug gets FDA approval, the stock will skyrocket. But if a study results are bad, especially phase 2 or phase 3 study results, then the stock price will tank. You can see that happened back in March of 2020. Overall, analysts give KIN an average price target of $10.25, which represents a 105% upside from Friday's closing price. I'm giving KIN a buy-in price of $4.50 and an ideal buy-in price of $3.50. Next up is MARA. This is a Bitcoin miner, and StockMo thinks Bitcoin is going to come back, so he added MARA to his penny stock portfolio on Friday. He chose MARA compared to the other Bitcoin stocks because they have the best financials. Next up is NIO. This is a Chinese EV manufacturer. StockMo thinks NIO is down because large investors have gotten a little scared, but he does think this will go up once the market volatility settles down. ZipTrader also gave an update today saying that if you are currently holding NIO, you should continue to hold. If you do not currently have a position, then you should try to buy in the low 50s or high 40s. Next up is NNDM. This is Nano Dimension, and they're a 3D computer chip printer manufacturer. Ken and Graves let us know that in ARK Invest ARKQ ETF, NNDM has risen from the number 12 position to the number 9 position as ARK Invest continues to buy more. Ken and Graves also said that there are rumors that NNDM will be doing another share offering soon, but as Richard Allen explained, they need to double their shares first before they can do that. They have a vote coming up after Valentine's Day for that. If they double their shares and do another share offering, you might be able to buy this at a good dip. So what is a good dip price? Well, on the chart, you can see that I drew 2 trend lines. One is a short-term trend line, and one is a long-term trend line. On the short-term trend line, NNDM is there right now. So if this goes up Monday, you might want to buy it as it bounces off the short-term trend line. But if it goes down Monday, then you might want to wait until it falls all the way back down to around $10 before buying. Personally, I have not rebought NNDM after selling it 2 weeks ago. I do expect NNDM to fall down to the longer time trend line, and I am looking to get in under $11, hopefully. Next up is PHUN. This is Fundware. Smart Trader explained that PHUN has a high short float, but it's not crazy. It's only about 14%. Benzinga aired an interview with PHUN COO where he talked about how PHUN has a high short float and could short squeeze. So Twitter is blown up thinking PHUN will short squeeze. But Smart Trader said that just because the COO said that doesn't make it true. He does expect PHUN to go up based upon the Twitter hype, but does not expect a short squeeze. He also stressed that this is a penny stock and you should not hold this longer than a few days. This should be a day trade or swing trade only. So if you want to play PHUN, you should play the Twitter momentum and do not expect PHUN to short squeeze to $100 or anything crazy like that. Next up is PLTR. This is Palantir and they're a data analytics company. We had a big run up going into demo day and the stock is behaving very similarly to SENS right now, meaning it's consolidating down to a point at around $36. It will break out Monday or Tuesday, but I'm not sure which direction. Ken and Gray said to get this on your watch list, but he said don't buy it unless it dips. Next up is POETF. This is Poet Technologies. Stockmo added this to his penny stock portfolio on Friday. He likes it because it's trending upward with good technical momentum. Next up is PSAC. This is a SPAC and they're merging with Faraday Future, which is an EV company. Richard Allen first mentioned the stock 3 weeks ago. Today, my financial friend gave us an update. Faraday Future is planning to sell their EVs for $180,000. So this is a high-end luxury vehicle. They have 14,000 pre-orders so far. They do plan to offer lower-priced vehicles in 2024. So they have a similar business model to Tesla and Lucid, which is to get higher-priced vehicles out first and then work their way down to lower-priced vehicles. They do not have any production yet, but they are hoping to start production next year. So this company is about 1 year behind Lucid Motors. They are already targeting both US and China, which are the two largest EV markets. All of that said, their vehicles are expensive and they're still a year away. Plus, the share price has gone up considerably over the past few days. My financial friend said he is not going to invest in PSAC. Looking at the chart, what's interesting to me is that we've had gaps each day for the past 3 days, followed by an intraday sell-off, represented by the 3 red candlesticks. So that tells me that this stock is running up massively in the after hours and pre-market and then selling off during the day. That concerns me. Personally, I do not think I will be investing in PSAC. I think PSAC is nearing a top, which it may reach Monday or Tuesday, and I expect the stock to drop soon, and for sure to drop post-merger. Next up is SBE. This is a SPAC and they're merging with ChargePoint. Stockmo said this has already dropped 20% from its high, so he doesn't think SBE is going to go down much lower. Next up is SENS. This is Senseonics, their pharmaceutical company. Ken Grace thinks SENS is going back up, so he recommends putting this on your watch list. This is the company that makes an implantable glucose monitor that can monitor your blood sugar 24/7 without pricking. Friday was the end of consolidation, so it's going to be interesting to see if SENS goes up or down on Monday. Whichever direction it goes Monday, I think that's the general direction we can expect SENS to go for the rest of this week. And if you're thinking about SENS for a long-term hold, then if it goes up Monday, that is probably about as low of a price as you're going to get. If it goes down Monday, we'll want to wait for the pullback to complete before buying. Next up is SLV. This is silver. Dead Inside released a video talking about how silver could be the next big short squeeze. I encourage you to watch Dead Inside's video for the details. Now, Dead Inside's video was focused on the futures market, but there is a way to trade this on the stock market, and that is with SLV. SLV does not perfectly match the spot price of silver, but it's close. If a silver short squeeze does happen, SLV will go up significantly. Combine that with the devaluing of the dollar and continued momentum, and I think SLV is a stock you might want to consider. Next up is TSLA. This is Tesla and they're an American EV manufacturer. Ken and Grace thinks you should own as much Tesla as possible given the current dip. Personally, I will tell you that we've seen this time and time again where Tesla will dip going down as much as 50% before going back up. So personally, I would wait for this dip to bottom out before getting in. Next up is UVXY. UVXY is a 1.5 times leveraged fixed play. So when the market goes down, UVXY goes up. Just don't hold UVXY for more than a day or two because it is designed to go down over time and you will lose money. However, if you want to buy this during the market correction, like the one that we're in now, you can. Personally, I like to buy UVXY on Fridays and sell on Mondays to give me protection in case the market gaps down over the weekend. Next up is UWMC. This is UWM Holdings Corp, and they're a wholesale mortgage company. Larry Jones has this on his watch list. He wants to buy it, but he's waiting for the dip to complete. Next up is VZ, Verizon. This stock has been really beat down lately. Stock Mode let us know the VZ has a 2022 forward PE of 10.61, which gives it about a 40% upside back to fair value over the next 1 to 2 years. Next up is WKHS, Workhorse. This is an American commercial vehicle manufacturer getting into EVs. ZipTrader talked about WKHS today. He thinks there will be another dip of WKHS this week. He gave a buy-in price of $30, an ideal buy-in price of $25, and a price target of $50. Next up is ZOM. This is Zomedica. Chris saying likes ZOM had said once it drops below 80 cents, it could go back up 20 to 50%. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is for Monday. And if you want to get some free stock, sign up for Webull or SoFi through my links in the description below. That will help you out, and it also helps the channel out. And finally, remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.